Well, I just pulled into Moab tonight and the wind and the rain is howling. It's coming out. Hopefully the storm is lightened up by tomorrow morning when I'm gonna go out to Delicate Arch. But for tonight, I think I'm gonna get some rest. See you in the morning. Good morning. It's about 5:26, but I'm gonna go see if I can't get a couple cool photos of the Delicate Arch. So on basically every video I watched on YouTube, it was highly recommended to get out here at dark and get up there for the sunrise to catch photos. So here we are. Well, now that it's 6:30 and I've done basically everything under the sun, it's time to start hitting this hike. Although I don't think I'm gonna get that sunrise shot. It's a mile and a half away. The sun comes up in 25 minutes, so I might be getting there just in time for the sun to come up. To be honest, this week when I saw the weather in Moab, I did get a little discouraged. It's supposed to be cold, windy, rainy, basically all week. It's early November, but I came out here from Colorado and I thought it would be a little bit nicer going down south towards the Grand Canyon. But I'm glad that I got out here because it's a little cold, it's a little brisk, but getting out, moving, seeing this beauty helps the soul. As far as the trail up here goes, so far it's been well paved. At the beginning it starts out on dirt, but it's an obvious trail, and then it turns into like a little concrete slab, and then it turns back into the well-treaded dirt. But you could literally push a stroller up here, at least up until this point. Okay, I lied. Scratch that last part. No more baby stroller. There is a good portion of this hike that turns into sheer rock face, kind of like out in Yosemite, where there's not much besides flat rock. There's no trail really, but you just huff it that way. All right, with the sunrise peeking over my shoulder there, I can officially say I miss the sunrise. If you want to get up here to take good sunrise photos of the arch, make sure you get here and start hiking before the sun even starts to creep, while it's still dark. The other thing I'm realizing right here is that I definitely don't know where the trail is now. You just got basically open space all around you. But this path here seems like the path of least resistance, so I'm gonna follow it. Looks like we have two main options. Option 1 and option 2. I think I'm going with option 1. Option 1's got them cliffs. Well, that's a disappointment. However, it is really pretty on option 1. There is no Delicate Arch in sight. Just some cliffs. Maybe around this corner. Let's check it out. But then I don't know if it's more. Oh my God. That'll drop your stomach quick, especially with this wind. Check it out. Woo. That's one thing I love about these red rocks that you don't get with a lot of other rocks, is just incredibly steep cliffs. I remember being in Australia in the mountains, the Blue Mountains, in the Blue Mountains, and those cliff faces, they're just gorgeous. But anyways, I better find out where I'm really supposed to go. Why do I do this to myself? All I had to do was open the All Trails app, see where the trail goes, and then follow it. But I didn't. I freeballed it. I came out here and I was like, you know what? It's over there. I'm sure there was some sign somewhere that told me the right way to go. Matter of fact, looking back, when I was getting one of those cool shots where I like walk up the hill, put the camera on the hill, and then I walk back down to walk back up and get in the shot, I remember walking back down, seeing another sign.
Wait a minute.
This one right here, this is the one I missed. If you just watch out for these signs, you can't go wrong. I do have to say the cheat code paid off though. Walking straight up that hill and then being able to see that the Delicate Arch was right on the other side of the hill saved me a half an hour for sure. So, you know what I'm doing to get over to the Delicate Arch? Cheat code. Walking straight down. I'm convinced that Mother Nature is like, hey, I'm gonna give you this pretty landscape, but then right in the middle of it, I'm gonna give you this spot, this special spot. I mean, look at this. You're telling me this wasn't planned? Like, this is carved. Oh my God, y'all, like with a marker. And I'm gonna give you this arch right there. They're gonna love it. They're gonna love the photos they get right there. Sometimes I really think Mother Nature has a mind of its own. Some people will call it God. Some people will call it luck. Some people will call it natural formation. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it's gorgeous. We made it up to the Delicate Arch at the Moab Arches Park, and it is stunning. The photographers are out, and the hike was definitely worth it. Even getting off track, taking the cheat codes. The 1.5 mile hike around really isn't that bad. There's some photographers down here, and I asked them, you know, about getting up here and if they got the sunrise, and the lady who was taking the main photos was like, yeah, the first time I came up here I did the same thing. I walked all the way around and then realized I wasn't in the right spot. So if you get up here, especially in the dark, taking photos, well, getting ready to take photos of sunrise, make sure when you hike up, it gets to that sheer rock spot, like where there's not really a defined trail. You want to go left. You want to stay left, and if you get to a point where it opens up, there's a mouth, like a big U, you want to stay to the left and go all the way to the left. You really can't miss it. This whole thing is expansive and much bigger than I expected when I started hiking. So now that I'm completely done with the hike, I'm back at the hostel. I'm going to give you Ryan's review, which is 10 things that you definitely want to know about basically every hike that you ever do. Number 1, is it dog friendly? No, it is not dog friendly. Number 2, the distance. The distance of the hike is 1.5 miles up, 1.5 miles back. So 3 miles round trip. Number 3, the elevation gain. All Trails app says it's only 610 feet of elevation gain. That's what it says, so that's what we're rolling with. Number 4, the type of trail. It's an out and back, which means you hike out to the destination and then you hike back the same exact way basically that you went. Unless you're like me and you went the wrong way when you went there, you walk a little bit shorter on the way back. Number 5, are there bathrooms? Yes, there are bathrooms on this hike. They're right next to the parking lot when you get there. They're nice individual bathrooms, and there are several of them. If I remember right, there's like 5 or 6. There aren't any past the parking lot, but it's not that far of a hike, so you shouldn't need more than the one stop. Unless you got explosive diarrhea or something crazy happens. Number 6, the type of parking. Where is it at? How does it work? On this hike, there's a big parking lot right at the trailhead of the Delicate Arches. You do have to pay to get into the park, but you don't have to pay for parking itself. It's a national park, so you have to pay for it. It's $30 for a car full, up to 15, $25 for a motorcycle, $15 for just a pedestrian, so hiker or bicyclist. Or it's $80 for the annual National Parks Pass, which I recommend if you go to more than 3 national parks in a year. It's $80 and it gets you into all of them across the country. Number 7, is it kid and grandma friendly? I would say this hike is kid friendly, but not quite grandma friendly. Those like sheer rock faces, they get a little steep and they could be exhausting to your grandma, depending on how good of shape she's in. But for the kids, make sure when you get to the top, especially if you go the wrong way, that you watch the kids around those cliffs. The All Trails app rates this hike moderate. I would say it's on the low end of moderate. Number 8, the path overview. So this is where I'm just going to break down kind of how the trail looks and what the actual path looks like. When you first get there, it's a very clear dirt path, and then it turns into a paved path for a short minute when you do some switchbacks. Then it goes back to the dirt path where you can clearly see. Then that's where you get to the sheer rock face. So you get to the sheer rock face, and there's not really a clear path, but you walk up it and there's signs that say trails this way, trails this way. And then after the rock face, you get to like that trail where you go through some rock and dirt. And then right before you walk around the corner to the big delicate arch, there's steps, and it leads to a clearly man-made, like drilled out section of the rock that is a path in and of itself. Number 9, this might be my favorite one. This is the view to hike ratio. Basically what I'm doing is I'm putting the view rated from 1 to 100 over the difficulty of the hike rated from 1 to 10. So the highest you can score on this ratio is 100. The lowest you can score is basically 0. Now for example, Half Dome, immaculate hike. That's what I'll relate a lot of this to, and I would rate Half Dome an 80 on the view because it's gorgeous, it's beautiful, but on the difficulty I would also give it an 8 out of 10. This was a really difficult hike, but for this hike I rated it a 58 on the views. It's beautiful, gorgeous. Now don't take this as a 50%, that's an F. No. That's not how I'm scaling this. A really bad score would be like 1 to 10. So 58, that's pretty good. And the difficulty is a 2.5. It's really not that difficult of a hike. So that gives us a 23.2 view to hike ratio. That's pretty good. That's better than Half Dome. If you're in it for the view and don't want a real strenuous hike, this is a great hike for you. Now lastly, the chances that I'll hike it again, I put this at about an 80%. If I come back to Moab, which I probably will in my lifetime, this would be one that I would hit up, and definitely one that I would take friends, family, older family on, because like I said, that view to hike ratio is mint. That's Ryan's top 10. If you got anything out of this video, hit the like button, of course, like everybody asks. Subscribe if you feel so inclined and you want to see more videos on travel, self-development, and humanitarian work. This is the channel for you. I'm Ryan Fila, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.